Welcome back, everybody, to the Get Fit ASAP podcast. I'm Anthony, and I'm your host. And today we're going to be talking about the Open. As you may know, or maybe you don't know, CrossFit has the Open every year. And basically, it's a worldwide competition that's online. So they're changing the format this year, but it used to be every February. It would start, and it's 5 weeks long, and basically you do a workout every week for the 5 weeks. After the 5 weeks is over, you'll be able to see where you place, and it's pretty cool. They have different age groups, and they even have a scaled version, obviously men and women. But basically, this is how they would find the fittest person in the world, because if you rank however high, you'll get to go to, they don't have regionals anymore, but regionals or the games, or just, basically the next stage of the CrossFit Games. Now, when the Open first came, they didn't have any scale division. They basically just had the workout, and since they were trying to find the fittest people in the world, they made the workouts really hard, and also they made it higher skilled movements to do. So it kind of sucked for people that are brand new to CrossFit, or maybe aren't that good of an athlete, because some of the workouts, obviously they could only get so far, and they couldn't finish it. Say if it's a muscle up and you can't do a muscle up, then you're kind of screwed, right? Or handstand push-ups, or heavy snatch, or whatever. So a couple years ago they came out with the scale division, which is great because now everyone can do it. So now that you got a little background about what the Open is, we're going to kind of talk about why it's important to do it, or maybe why it's not important, or important not to do it. I personally think you only get there's only benefits from it, really. I think it's gonna, even if you're not competitive, or even if you never want to go to the games, or hey, you just work out 3 times a week, even, it's still gonna keep you accountable, and it's gonna give you that goal, and then it's gonna make you work out harder. So in the end, okay, let's look at the negatives. Maybe you don't do good. Maybe you discourages you a little bit because you didn't do as good as you wanted to, or whatever, right? Maybe it hurts your ego a little bit. But dude, it's gonna keep you accountable, and also it's gonna show you what you need to work at to get better, or just to make you work harder. Really, at the end of the day, you're just gonna get better. That's why I like it, basically. Because if you didn't sign up for it, you're not going to really push on those workouts as hard as you could. It's something about, when you're going to get graded after, you're going to try to do it, to the best of your abilities. I just personally think everyone should do it. That's just me, though. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not doing that crap. I don't want to waste $20. It is $20 to sign up. It's not a big deal. But the thing is, if you go to our gym, or if you go to ASAP, we do it. The workouts that they post on for the Open are just good workouts in general. Like I said, even if you're really new to CrossFit, they have the scaling options for it, so it's not a big deal. You could still do the workout now. So it's not really an excuse to say, "Oh, I can't do the workout. I can't do this." You're fine. It's just like any other class, really. And when you come to we usually do it on Friday nights is when we usually do it. But there'll be some people that won't want to go on Friday nights because they don't want to compete, or they don't want to whatever. But like I tell them, it's like, dude, it's not a big deal. It's just like, if you actually sign up for the Open, like, you'll have a judge and stuff to make sure like no one cheats if you're actually getting scored for it. But if you're not getting scored, you just go and do it like a regular workout. So it's not a big deal. And I think the atmosphere is really, really good those nights because everyone's pumped up. They want to push as hard as they can do it. They want to try to do the best they can. So everyone's pushing each other and encouraging each other. And I think it's just, a great environment just to get a great workout in. If nothing else, you get a great workout in. Starting right now, for this month, January, and a little bit of, the beginning of February, we're going to be doing all our programming for our CrossFit classes in kind of preparation for the Open. So like in the Open, they usually do like they don't deviate too far from the movements they do. I think it gets a little bit different each time. Like one year they changed it from barbells to all dumbbells. So that was probably like the biggest change. It used to be all AMRAPs, so just be as many reps as possible, but they actually did a couple workouts for time. But other than that, it's basically the kind of the same old, same old. So we kind of know what's coming, unless they do some, they'll change it a little bit, but the history shows that they don't deviate too far from the certain movements they do and stuff like that. They'll do a shorter workout, they'll do a heavier workout, they'll do a longer workout with lighter weights. So they mix it up pretty good. But a lot of things that people are gonna have trouble with, that maybe they get away with in class, and they're gonna get held accountable when they actually do the workout, because you can't really scale. Or if you're doing the workout, you need to hit a 10-foot target on the wall ball. You can't go shorter like you do in class, and it's not a big deal. Or if the workout is, double unders, you have to do the double unders unless you want to do the scaled version. But a lot of people want to do the RX version of it. So like this month in training, we're going to be going over double unders a lot. That's a big problem, I feel like, for a lot of people. And the thing is, it's just like practice. You just got to keep practicing it. So we're going to kind of focus on doing double unders. I think that's been in every open, I think. So that's a big one. We'll work on muscle ups for our better athletes, that they can do a lot of pull-ups already, or maybe they can already do a muscle up but aren't too good at them yet. So practicing on the transitions and stuff like that, or maybe they get their first muscle up. We have quite a few people actually get their first muscle up in an open, so that's pretty cool. Who knows if they would have got it if they didn't do the open, right? I don't know. Who knows? What else did you? Handstand push-ups. That's going to give a lot of people some trouble. And a lot of these things are mostly gymnastic stuff or higher skill stuff, because like your cardio and your strength, you can only get so much better in a month. So your kind of is what it is right now. Or, maybe just put a little icing on the cake. But for the other stuff like that, like double unders, you can only do one right now, and you could maybe get to like 50 or something like that before in a month, or just be a lot better at it, or a lot more consistent at it. So you can make a bigger progress on that. Also, handstand push-ups. That is kind of handstand push-ups and muscle ups are kind of more strength biased than a double under, obviously. But if the strength's there and it's just a technique, you really dial that down and do a lot better in the open, or in the workouts. Because it is frustrating, man. It's frustrating when you're doing, say, what's one of the workouts? One of the workouts a long time ago was 150 wall balls, I think 90 double unders, and then 30 muscle ups. So just kind of a higher skill thing. The cardio's in the beginning, obviously, with the wall balls, but then you go to the double unders, and if you're just say you blasted the wall balls, you're really good at that, and you go to the double unders, and you just keep screwing up. And it's just sucking the time out of the clock, and you only have so many times to get a muscle up. Or say you bust through the double unders and it's pretty easy, but then you go to the rings and you can't even do a muscle up, and you're sitting there for 5 minutes trying to do a muscle up, and you can't even do one. That's really, really frustrating. But man, sometimes you need those moments, because then you're like, shit, I don't ever want to do that again, and you just get mad, and that's the turning point of you actually getting committed, and then actually going and practicing a muscle up, like spending the time doing it. Otherwise, if you don't really get held accountable for it, if you're like, I can't do a muscle up, like, who cares? Or I want to work on it still, but you just kind of get lazy about it. Like, what's going to really push you to actually do it? Like, oh, shit, they're going to come up in the open. Like, I need to practice this more. And it's just going to make you better, honestly. And if you don't care about doing it, you don't care. But if you want to do a muscle up and you want to do those things, but you just can't find that spark to kind of get you, like, this is a great opportunity to do that. Another thing, too, is they always retest a workout from the years prior. So say you've been doing CrossFit for 3 years, they always do a workout that they've, like I said, they've done years before. So you'll get to see your progress on it, which is cool too, because like basically I'm going down, but I'm getting worse every year. But most people are gonna get better every year, so it's cool to see your progress. Like, man, I only got freaking 1 round a year ago, and now I got 5 rounds or something crazy like that. So that's cool to see. Or even like, I couldn't even deadlift that like once this time, now I did it for 30 reps, or just depending on what the workout is. So that's always cool to see. And also, you can also see if you are competing and you want to do or you like competing, it really shows you what you're not good at compared to other people. So say, for example, in the gym that you go to, like only one person snatches more than you, so it's not a big deal. Say they snatch like 20 more pounds than you. But so you're like, I'm pretty strong relative to everyone in my gym, so I don't really need to work on that. But maybe the other person isn't really strong either, and you don't really even know about it. So like in the open, say they do like a 1 rep max snatch, and you find out that your max, say you PR'd even, and you got, I don't know, whatever it is, and you're like, oh, happy about it, and then you go to put your score in, and it's really, really, really low, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know my snatch was bad, and now you know what to work on. So I think that's really, really good. And then also you'll kind of see what you're good at and be like, maybe I don't need to spend as much time doing this. I can kind of focus more time on doing the snatch, or whatever else you need to get better at. So I think that's a big, big thing. As far as like the negatives for the open, I can't really think of any, honestly. I mean, wasting $20 that's the biggest thing, I think. Yeah, I mean that's all I can think of. It's kind of more stressful, I guess, because you're like always worried about, oh, what am I gonna get? But I mean, it's 5 weeks. It's one workout a week. It's not a big deal. And then like at the end of the day, if you do shitty, like whatever, like it's just working out. Like who cares? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, basically that's all I got today. I was really wanted to just go over what the open was. You can sign up for it on the CrossFit Games website. I think they're doing registration right now. One thing I left out too. It's also cool because it'll kind of show you, say you're like an older athlete or whatever. It will show the different ages and even like different cities. And no, not cities. It might do cities, but it does states. Like I'll show you what you rank in your state, even worldwide, country, kind of everything. So it just breaks it down, and it's just interesting to look at sometimes. Yeah. So you kind of know what you got to work on now. So if you know you already have some weaknesses and you're going to do the open, maybe here's a good opportunity to start spending some more time towards those things. Like I said, we'll be working on those actually in class, but you know what weaknesses you have and what you need to get better at. So you might need to spend even extra time. If you do want to do any of that stuff and you want to get some extra work, don't hesitate to tell a coach like, hey, we're here to help you guys in any way you guys want to get better. So definitely tell a coach and we'll set you up with a plan. And then, hey, you bust it out, do the work, and I promise to get better at it. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will talk to you next week.